Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to this course of Zero to Hero on Cisco ASA, and I'm really excited to record this video. And this video is basically going to be all about the default traffic flow, understanding the to versus through traffic, and some troubleshooting commands as well. So we'll see all this in action today, and it's going to be a really good session. So you guys practice it so that you understand it more. Okay, and I mean, check this video a couple of times so that you understand more of it. Okay, so just to summarize what we did in the last video. So we have the interfaces configured, and I can say I can see that the interface geek 0, 2, and 3 are still down. So I'll bring them up, and we did a basic default route and what do you say, a static router, right? Show route. If I do, I can see I don't have the statics. Okay, so that's great. So I have removed that which I did in the last video. Nice. So that means that from ASA I can ping all the routers. So let's see the outside router. I can ping that, but I should not be able to ping the loopbacks on router 2, right? So that there's no route. Okay, so that's what I need. Now let's see. So there is a general idea of to versus through traffic that you need to understand. And let me grab my pen quickly and start discussing about it. So the traffic that we initiated as of now, the ping that we did was from the firewall to this interface, right? So there was no issue with the routing because this is the directly connected interface, and this is a traffic that was initiated by the firewall. And also, if I initiated traffic from this to the interface, that will work, right? Because as I said, that is not controlled by the ACL, right? Those are the services that control these two traffics. So if I go here on my ASA and on the R2 actually, and say enable and say show IP interface beef, just to check the interface configuration. Yeah. So if I ping from here 192.1.20.10, which is the interface outside interface of my firewall, this should be reachable. Reason being is that ICMP is only one service that is allowed by default, and that is a through traffic. Now if I see, for example, we will test it through traffic, and I'll try to make you understand how it's I mean going through the firewall and what is denying it, right? So let's go on the R2 and try to ping the R1 and try to ping the R2 interface, this one. So for that, what do I need? First of all, I need a route here, right? I need a route here on R1. Let's check. I think I have a default route, and then I need a reverse route here, right? Route back to that that 10.11.11 network. If I do a default, without the source, right? Because the source would be this one. So I need a route back from R2 to this. But in general, I mean, this will not be like this, because this ASA will be natting. So that thing will be covered in future lessons, okay? The natting and all. But for now, let's do a routing on this router back for the return traffic. Okay, so let's what do? I'll just clear this first of all and close it. So by default, okay, let's check this. Let's go to R2 and check the route here. Show IP route. Okay, so I don't see any route that says 10.11.11 or any default route. So let's configure a route, a static route that points to 10.11.11.11 0 255 255 255 and the next hop should be my interface of the firewall. Okay, so that's done. And if I check now, so I should be okay, wait, show IP interface. No, not show IP interface. I'll check the show IP route to see the route is there or not. So I should have a static route that points to that particular network. Fine. Now let's check on R1 from where I'm going to ping, right? Enable show IP interface brief. I have the interfaces. Nice. Show IP route. I have the route. That's a default route. So no issues from there. So now if I go and ping from here to 10, not to 10, to 192.1.20.2, will that ping? Will that be successful? Just now you have to understand this flow. Okay. So what I'm doing right now here is, let me draw. Okay. So from here, I am specifying source as 10, 11, 11, and this would be 1. And destination is 192.1.20.2. And the traffic is actually the ICMP. So on the firewall, what will be happening is, because this is traffic from a high interface to a low interface, this will be allowed, because all traffic which is unicast is allowed by default from high to low. So that is no issues. So R2 receives this route, R2 checks its routing table and sees it has a static route to reach this 10, 11, 11, 1 network. So he replies to this as 10, 11, no, source will be now the destination, and destination will be now the source. So I'll take an eraser here. So now the source would be, in this case, it would be R2, 192.1.20.2, and destination would be 10, 11, 11, and 1. And the source and destination port would be again reversed, right? So here the source will become now the destination, and the destination here will become the source. Okay, so that is like this. And what will happen on the firewall when this traffic comes back to firewall? What will happen is, first of all, it will check the connection table. And because this is ICMP, that connection table is not built up by default, because only TCP and UDP based traffic will have a connection table. So next comes which one? Is the security level. And because this traffic is coming from low to high, so this will be denied. So that means this will be denied here. Okay, so let's check this in action and clear our doubts in this. Okay, so I'm on R2, and before that, what I'll do is I'll enable logging on the firewall. So how do you do it? You say logging console 7, but you don't do this on an corporate network, because it becomes very noisy. So you basically go and use other methods like the packet tracer. I'll show you, and then you logging console 7 and logging enable, I think. Yeah, so that is done. Now let's go to R2 and now ping this. Okay, so let's now I had to do a debug IP packets here as well. Let's do a detail. Okay, and let's do this again once again. I know I would have some logs here, so I'll just take it like this, clear the screen. On R1, I'll again do the same ping. So now let's go to R2 and see if R2 has received this packet. Yeah, it has received this packet, and that is the, so we have the packets here coming on to R2. Now let's go to ASA and see the packets. So ASA says, okay, let's go to here first on R2 and see packet routed succeed. And you can see the source was 10.1.11.11.1, that is R1, and destination was 192.1.20.1, and routed via routing information base. And you can see the return traffic was source R2, destination 10. So that means the packet has reached to R1, and the idea of high to low security is valid, right? Now let's go to ASA and see what's happening there, because I cannot see on R1 the pings getting successful. So on AC, you can see that you can see this outbound ICMP connection for forward address. This is the destination, and this is the uh, source. And this is a type 840 with an echo. And you can see that it's getting denied on the outside interface with the source as R2 and the destination is R1. So type 040, which is ICMP, replies, right? So that, I mean, clearly clarifies the whole concept of high to low and the ICMP not getting what do you say, inspected, right? There are two ways to get around this. One is that you configure inbound ICMP this ACL here. So how do you do that? Let's do that first. Access list says out permit ICMP any. Okay, that is the or what ICMP. Then you can say the source IP. Let's be specific. Okay, and then it will ask for the net mask, or I can say host if it's just a one single node, and again host that is going to 11.11.1. So that is like specific, and also I can go for the echo. Is it echo only or echo? In my case, it's echo reply. All right. So that is the very granular access list that I want. Okay, and then I will apply this access list out in. So this is like not access list, actually access group to apply. Then I'll specify the name. So here you go and specify the name of the ACL, that is out, that I configured here, right? This one. And then after that, you have the direction, okay, for input and for output. So this is coming inverse on the interface. Now the direction is inside. Now what interface it is actually outside, right? So in interface like that, and then you specify the interface, so outside, right? So what I'm doing is on this outside interface, I've applied an ACL that permits ICMP echo replies sourced from 20.2 going to 10.11.11.1. So that is the reply that was getting denied. Okay, hit enter. And now let's try the same ICMP, the ping. Now this time it will be successful. Why? If you see here, you will see the ICMP. And why it's getting teared down is it's like so you have two options, show con. I don't think you will have a connection table here, but if you try to do it very fast, I hope I can see. So let's see 10,000. Oh, okay, count. I said time or what? Repeat. Sorry, there you have repeat like this. And if I go on the ASA and see, yeah, I can see this this connection table. This is how you see the connection table. So you have a ICMP. It actually lasts for only 2 seconds. So this is from outside to inside like that, right? You can see the connection is teared down, and after some time you will not see anything. Till this ping is going on. Let's just wait for the. It'll take some time, right? So Control Shift X6, Control X. No, not. So let's wait for this. So this is how the through packet is going on. And also you have another thing that you can do for this traffic is without the ACL, right? So let's wait. Okay, I will go and view all here and debug all if that works. I mean, this has become too noisy. I think I did view all somewhere. So we have to wait for this to complete. And if I see here, okay, let's keep it like that. Let's move on to the next one. That is the so I've shown you the access list, right? Now what I'll do is I'll say show run interface outside. If I see interface, show run interface, I should see outside, right? Okay, gigabit Which one is that? 0 0 0 1, yeah, 0 1. Okay, so I have this name if and all show. So I can do and say clear configure uh, configure access list. Which one? Out. Yeah, that is done now. So my ACL should be, I mean, the ping should drop, right? So, and also I'll do a not logging console, no logging console 7, no logging enabled. So I'll disable the logging. Okay. Now, there's one more thing that I want to show you is show running configuration. All if you do, you will see the inspection, right? As I said, only TCP UDP is inspected and some other things are inspected. Basically, what happens is, okay, so this is show run all, and then you have another command show run only. Okay, but show run all will show you extra things that show run will not show. What I want to do is I want to show you the policy map actually, not the policy inspection. I'll show you, I want to show you the inspection that happens by default. Okay, and in that you don't have ICMP, you have TCP UDP, TFTP. So basically what happens, I'll show you. Wait a second. Okay, go. Too many. I think I saw it here. Yeah, so this is what I want. Policy map global, and then class inspection default, and then you don't have ICMP here. You have FTP here. You have TFTP. So these are the I mean, the problem will be where? The problem will be when you have some traffic that is not using the standard ports. Okay, so for example, you have the FTP, right? So from inside, now let me take my pen, annotate. Okay, and let me take a different. Okay, so for example, you have this firewall here, ASA, and you have a client on the, say, here a client, and then you have a server here which is using FTP. So what happens? FTP is sending this destination port as 21 and source port as some random number, right? And here it replies with a source port of 22 or 20, like that, right? So that is that creates a problem because the firewall now has a return entry with port 22. And that is not matching the connection table. So there you have to do the HTTP when you do the inspection, right? Deep packet inspection. So there you do all these manual tweaking of the access list and the flow, right? But when you have a standard port that like HTTP port 80, okay, so you know that the destination will be 80 and the return traffic will be as the source 80. So there you don't have any problems. Okay, we will see this in the deep packet inspection classes in future, and that is what I wanted to show you. So so the next thing that we can do to allow this traffic is you can do what? Okay, this dot is there, so I'll go and clear my screen and close this. Okay, so now what you can do instead of doing an ACL, what you can do is you can inspect this ICMP. So that will be allowed by default. So how do you do that? You go to that this one. You go to the policy map and the class map. Okay, you do this. You go inside this and then say inspect what ICMP. So the connection table will be formed. So now if I go, I see I can show access list, and there will be no access list. Show access group, show access list, IP access list also. If I do, there is, I don't see. Okay, show run access list. Let's see. Okay, so I don't see any access list. Okay, so now if I do this ping, need to stop this. Wait a second, guys. Control C, Control V, not happening. Control Shift X, 6. Okay, this is continuously happening now. What I need to do is right now, I need to stop this. Okay, I'll pause my video and try to stop this. Oh, now that I have breaked the pings, so now let's try that this. Okay, let's check the show con, and I don't see any connections. There's another this local host command something, yeah, local host call. This way also you can see the connections, right, that are going on. So now let's do the ping again, not with. So let's do 100 ping. Now the ping is happening, and I can see the connection table. I think the connection is over. So I need to be very quick on this. So let's do 1,000, and then I'll go here. Yeah, I can see the. Okay, now nice. So I can see the connection table here, right? So you have the local host as 22. That is a return traffic. That has to be. And the inside is the destination. So you can see, right, and ICMP is using protocol 7. So that's why. That is the thing, right? So that is the return traffic that should be there. ICMP outside, going to inside, so destination this. So that is what you have the connection flows, and that's how you inspect non-default traffic that is not inspected by no ASA. Okay, so that's there, right? So I think you understood this very well. The default inspection and how you inspect a non-default traffic, and another problem is okay, so let's just think about the trace route. Okay, so how does trace route work? Trace route usually, so you just think of a firewall here and okay, a router here and a router here, right? So how does trace route work? When you trace out from this to this, what happens is UDP is initially used, and the unreachable messages, right? ICMP unreachable messages, that will be, unreachable messages will be transmitted back. So just think, UDP is inspected by default by the firewall, but what about the return traffic? It will be blocked because this is not UDP return traffic, this is ICMP. So these are the traffics you need to manually do the tweaking, right? So for example, just let's see, I'm not inspecting, I'm inspecting UDP and ICMP from inside, but that will not affect the return, right? Because that is again low to high. So let's do a ping, trace route from here. Trace route 192.120.2. This will fail because let's see here what happens. Logging console 7. So I think I need to go into the config mode. Yeah, logging console 7, logging enable, right? So let's see the trace route here. Okay, yeah, so you can see building TCP UDP connection, right? So the initial is UDP, but it should be denying. Yeah, you can see the denying inbound here only. Because it's a type 3 code 3. Anybody knows what's type 3 code? I think it's unreachable, right? Type 3 code 3 ICMP, if we search, should be the it should be unreachable. I should see it somewhere. Yeah, ICMP unreachable. You can see here, right? So that is what I was talking about. So how do you enable this trace route? You can have an access list that permits this thing. So what I can do is, let's go here and what can say, no logging on, no logging console 7. So what I can do is access list out permit ICMP any just for testing purpose, access group out in interface outside. Okay, now let's do the trace route, and it should succeed by this. Control Shift 6X, Control C. Yeah. So now let's do the trace route this time, and it should succeed now. If I see a logging here again, logging enable, logging console 7, and yeah, now I can see. I'm sorry, 11 inside this. Okay, there's some issue here now. but I can see my trace route is working, right? I can see the next one. This is also working because of the ICMP the access list. So that is how you do the clear configure access list. I should do, I think, access list, or I can say out as well, or all the access list. Show run access list. It should not be there. Yeah. Show run access list. No logging enabled and no logging source 7. So that is that, right? So the next thing that I want to talk about is this was the through traffic. Now I want to talk about the to traffic. So for example, from R1, if I ping 192.1.20.10, right? 20.10. That is the external interface, and that is from R1, not from R1. From R1 it should be 10. So this is from R2. 11, and 10. So this is enabled because this is enabled by default, the ICMP service, right? So how do we enable or disable these services? So for example, there is a command for every service to enable. For ICMP, it's like ICMP deny any. So what I'm doing is I'm denying any ICMP on any interface. So this is the interface, right? So I can say any. No, I cannot say any. I have to specify the. So let's say outside deny. I'll say inside deny. I would say like that, right? So now if I go on to the inside or the outside, this ping that was working earlier will now fail. And also from the R2 outside, if I go here and say ping 192.120.10, the outside, that is going to fail. But on R3, if I go and ping show IP interface brief, it's 90. Okay, so ping 192.168.3.10, that will work because on that interface I have not set a deny. Okay, so that is how you control the to traffic, and to traffic cannot be controlled by an access list. Okay, easier. So and one more example would be, so I can say clear. Let's try this. Configure ICMP. Yeah. So that's done. That will take care of all the configurations. So if I do this, again, this should work. Okay, that's great. Now let's move on to the next thing. So how do I 10, 11, 11, 0, 255, 255, 2550, and what? And the interface, it should be inside. Okay, that's done. Now go to R1 and telnet 10.11.11.10. So here I can see it's I mean, you don't have any username and password, right? So username should be Cisco. Password is, I think, Cisco 123. That's what I said. No, let's try that again. Cisco 123. Cisco 123. Cisco 123. But I don't have a password actually. Control Shift 6. So the translation is going on. Anyways, leave it. That is the no logging in Sol 7. No logging enabled. And also, if you want to enable HTTP, you can do that, right? This we will see in the future videos where we'll configure the ASDM and access the GUI of the Cisco ASA. From there also you can configure lots of things. I mean, everything. So let's say HTTP. You want to enable HTTP from say 10.0.0, any network that starts from 10. Okay, and like this you do this and then you say inside. That's it, done. Now what you do here is, I think you have something else here. No, you don't have anything. So let's do a telnet on port 80 from here. Telnet 10, 11, 11, 10, and then I can use the port 80, right? Okay, wait a second. Let me see. www if I do. Connection refused by remote. HTTP, and then you have the host IP address of the host or network authorized to access the HTTP server. And okay, you have to enable the server. Yeah, forgot it. Okay. Right? Anything else? No, that's done. Now let's see. Now it's listening on port 80. Now let's see the same thing. Oh, again it's. So if I say port 80, no, port 443. Yeah, okay. So when you say HTTP, that means 443. Okay, so that's 443. That's working. That's it. Okay, guys. So I think you pretty well understood the concept of through and to traffic and how to control and manipulate all this stuff. Right? So yeah, in my next video we will talk about the ASDM and how to configure the Cisco ASA using ASDM. But this is very important to understand the flow of the ASA and how to troubleshoot. And there is one more command that is very, very important for you. That is the packet tracer command on the ASA. So for example, you can say a packet tracer and then the input. I mean, it's like simulating. Also, you have this same in the GUI ASDM, but in the CLI it's like this. So you say input, which interface is it? Outside, and then what you have the traffic as. So I say ICMP, and then what is the source that is coming? I say 192.120.2. That means on R2, I'm generating this type. Type is okay, not like this. Type 0 code 0. So it's an ICMP reply. Okay, and into the destination 10, 11, 11, 1. Right? It's my R1 and detailed. If you say like that and enter, and you will see why this is getting dropped, and you will see all flows. So for on number 1, okay, it's checking for an access list. You see here, phase 1 is checking for an access list. Phase 2 is doing the route lookup. Phase 3 is checking for the NAT. Phase 4 is it's dropping, and this is because of an implicit rule, and that is because from low level to high level. That is the default thing. Okay, so let's do another thing. Let's check. That would be permitted. I think no. Okay, let's take a TCP. Why not TCP? From this guide, which is 20.2, going to what? TCP what? TCP say anything, HTTP. Yeah, HTTP going to 10, 11, 11, 1, right? And let's what is this? This is the port number. Okay, port number. Let's say 80, 80, and that's it, right? That's it. So this will be actually dropped again. But see, this is not looking for the connection table, but this is looking for the route first. So do I know this route? Yeah, I know this. This is directly connected, and I found the next hop as my this, and NAT. It's allowing because I know the what you say, the networks, and then it's dropping again because of the because you don't have any ECS, and by default the what do you say, the low to high is dropped, right? So you need these tools. You need to understand. You need to practice how to solve these issues. I mean, this was pretty basic, right? Because this is a known fact, an easy thing, right? Because I don't have traffic that is from low to high, so I knew that is going to drop. But there are many complex situations in your day-to-day life in ASA that you need to troubleshoot using these tools. So yeah, you need to be pretty clear with these CLI commands and all, and practice well to understand these things, right? So yeah, so that would be all for this video. In my next video, we'll be going through the ASDM. I will be explaining to you how to access the Cisco ASDM and all other stuff that we can go to, through the ASDM. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. Stay connected. If you like my content, subscribe, share my content, comment if any question is there, and stay connected. Bye bye. Thank you.